All right, what's going on, boys? It's Keg, live to break down the main event for this weekend's UFC fight night between Alexander Volkov and Tom Aspinall. So I broke down every fight on the DFS show earlier today on the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel. You can check that out. We did it this morning. But I'm just going to break down the main event now. And this was pretty easy call for me. I said this morning that I thought that this fight reminded me a lot of the Chris Daukaus Derek Lewis fight. In that fight, Chris Daukaus was being priced like he had beaten an elite level UFC heavyweight, but he hadn't. And sure enough, Derek Lewis knocks him out. He failed when he made that step up. And that kind of reminds me of this fight because in sports betting, it's all about value, right? A lot of people think in MMA, well, I mean, if you think this guy's going to beat this guy, you just bet that guy. Whatever the price is, the price is. I mean, it's pretty binary choices, right? But that's just not how MMA betting really is. You look for the value, you take it for the long haul, and you should be profitable long term. So that's what I try to do. Now, I am sky high on Tom Aspinall. I like him a lot, and he might win this fight. But he's being priced in this fight like he has already beaten the caliber of opponents that Alexander Volkov has, right? He's got a win over Fabricio Verdum when he actually was Fabricio Verdum like 4 years ago. Got a win over Walt Harris. He's beaten Alistair Overeem. He beat Tabora. Even though I didn't love the way he looked last time out, he still got the job done, and he beat Tabora. And Tom Aspinall, if we're being honest, what's his best win? Sergey Spivak? If not that, a 43-year-old Andrei Arlovsky. After that, I mean, his competition falls off a cliff. It's a joke. But there's a ton to like about Tom Aspinall. I think he's the best UFC heavyweight prospect currently on the roster. I think he's got great hand speed. His striking's on point. I like his boxing a lot. His Muay Thai is pretty sharp. And plus, we know that he can roll on the mat to a decently high degree, right? But there are some unknowns. Number one, what is Tom Aspinall's cardio like? Because he's beaten so many bums, the guy hasn't been past the midway point of round 2 since 2016. That's almost 6 years ago. I mentioned that on the show this morning. That's concerning because if he doesn't knock Alexander Volkov out, you know Volkov's going to be game for 5 rounds. He's going to be there all 5, right? So another thing nobody's talking about, which I think is a concern, is that he really hasn't fought in front of a crowd. You can't count those Cage Warrior fights in those gyms that they pack. That's just not a good gauge. So now he's going to walk into O2, 20,000 heads. He's got a ton of pressure on his shoulders. I think that he's going to be a little nervous, okay? And at the end of the day, I just think that Alexander Volkov is going to probably use his range and strike with him for as long as it takes to get the win. But I do think that Tom Aspinall can win this fight. I really do. But Volkov is definitely more proven. He's definitely more tested. And the fact that he is a plus price on the same card where you have a 21-year-old kid who's got a ton of hype behind him, never fought in the UFC as a $6 favorite. You got Paddy Pimblett, a $6 favorite. On this card, you're telling me Alexander Volkov should be plus money against Tom Aspinall with all that we know? I don't care how high you are on Tom Aspinall. Those odds are objectively wrong. So I'm going to pull the trigger and take the plus money there. But I really don't. I'm not mad at anybody for taking Tom Aspinall. I get it. He could win this fight. And at the end of the fight, I could be like, yep, that makes sense. He's looked better than Volkov lately. But level of competition means something, I'm telling you. And the price of a fighter means something. So right now, the current price at DraftKings is Alexander Volkov plus 110. I just think that's crazy. Now, you can, for the purposes of the video, we'll go with that price. But Aspinall's been taking money all week. Over the last 72 hours, the number has been pretty stagnant. I've been watching it closely. So you could wait to possibly get a better price. You always get a little bit of MMA buyback, though. Remember that on Saturday. But this number could just continue to go in the favor of Tom Aspinall. So you might want to wait. I didn't. I'm taking the plus 110 with Alexander Volkov. And, whatever happens, happens. But the price is wrong. So we'll take that. And other than that, boys, whatever you bet this weekend, I hope your action runs pure. Join Run Pure Bets. You could use the promo code BETS25 off. It'll get you 25% off the first week or month. We've been doing it about 18 months now. Basically, pretty much everybody's profitable long term. That's really it. You guys, and I'm going live now for the CADcast subscribers. If anybody's really into live betting, I suggest signing up for $10 a week. I think it's worth it. If you've been following me, you know how well the live show does for the last 3 or 4 years. But other than that, no matter what you bet, I hope you guys crush it. So, I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow with a NASCAR video with Coop. I got toothache issues going on during the first weekend of the tournament. It's a total shit show right now in my house. But we're here still right now. So we'll take it. All right, I'm going with Alexander Volkov plus 110. One time for the boys. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Later.